Okay, it's about 6:15, maybe just 10 after, I don't know. But I was busy loading up a video that I made at 7:30 last night. For about an hour, 42 minutes it is. I just uploaded that. And now it's 6:15 in the morning, and there it is. And this is low now. Last night was high. Real high. This one's real low. Wow. I just stick my eyes up for a minute. Hold on. Okay. There's another object flying right over. And it's no plane because I can't hear any sound. But I'm gonna go just for this cluster because it's so big. Okay, I'm only at like 20x, maybe 25x or something like that. It's close and it's big. Let's go. Okay, now I'm at 80x. Okay, so this is February the 10th, 2011, and it's in Toronto, Canada, and now I'm filming a hexahedron cluster up close, and it's low over Toronto, and it's pretty close, a lot closer than the ones last night. The ones last night were pretending to be the constellation Orion, the left foot and the right foot of Hercules, as I call that constellation. But if you look at it the other way, it's the two bottom corners of Orion, and that's the two lights I filmed. I could see the whole thing, and all of them were hexahedron clusters, but they were just too far to really bother filming all of them. Two was enough to prove that that's what they were. And if they ever come closer to the ground, I'll film them, and I'm planning to buy a better or higher power zoom camera so I could film them no matter where they are, and I get a camera that can reach out there and really take pictures. But this 80x zoom is an intelligent zoom. Right now the camera is only 20x optical and 80x maximum intelligent, and it's good enough for things like this to show up nice and clear and come pretty close. So I'm going to back off and show where it is over Toronto. Okay, there it is. Now that's gone up about, it was only half as high when I was looking at it just before I came out. It was real low, and it seems like it's rising and going higher. Okay, so I'm gonna just shoot it. This is 39x right now, so I'm just gonna stay here so I can get a shot from not so close. Maybe I'll see something else. You can see how it's made up, and that there's a lot of clusters inside. Two days almost ago, I counted only like a dozen, but there was a lot more. The other one was like in a plasma state, and you couldn't really count them, but now you can really see the clusters. I'm gonna just come closer. See, when you come closer, it's hard, they're harder to see, because then you see the small ones, small clusters flying around. But this is good. I'll shoot it from close and from far to get a good look at it, because it's this one's not in a plasma state or anything. And this is material. You can see all the clusters just rotating and orbiting each other, and rotating inside the hexahedron, and rotating around the nucleus, and they're all rotating counterclockwise, and there are clusters rotating horizontally and vertically, and in all directions, like almost in a sphere-like fashion, 360 all around. They rotate in every direction, and all rotate counterclockwise. If you watch them closely and carefully, you can see that they're rotating counterclockwise. All other rotations are counterclockwise. Now there is a nucleus, and it's a big cluster, right dead center. So that's what's giving it all the action, that big one in the center. And it's the center of gravity for it, and center of mass. And you can see how the particles are charged, and I only say particles because those are smaller clusters. Even the smallest, the almost infinitely small particle is a cluster. That's the way these entities are. They're just clusters upon clusters upon clusters, and could be infinitely small or infinitely large. It's not much. It's not difficult for them to be either infinitely small or infinitely large. They can disperse those clusters all over the place and reduce them to sizes that are unimaginable, where they can group them all together, and not just the hexahedron that you're looking at, but everything else that's around it in the air, and combine to form a cluster that would be bigger than Toronto in a flash, if that's what they wanted to do. So they have no limits. I have seen no limits for them. They do what they want. I'm going to back off. A little bit closer. Okay, this is 50x. Okay, as you can tell, this one is not doing as much moving. Last night they were moving around a lot. This one is hovering in a very steady position. This very slight movement, and part of it is me, because I'm talking. You can see the big black center there, and that's the nucleus, and it's surrounded by charged clusters, and they're in there's like clusters that are not as charged, and then they're surrounded by charged clusters, so it's a layer of the center is not as charged, and then the layer is charged around it, and then another layer that's not charged, and then another layer around that that's charged, and so they go like that in layers of uncharged or not charged and charged clusters, and they're wound in a coil inside the hexahedron. And the coil, let's see, it's all hexahedron. It's like smaller and smaller hexahedrons going down to the center. Okay, it's gone into a plasma state. Now it definitely knows I'm filming it. So now it's gonna start probably coming at me. Okay. Okay, so this is not Venus. It's not the Orion constellation. It's nothing like that. It's not a spaceship. These are living entities. And it's a UFO, yes, but it's a living entity comprised of many living entities. It's a living community there. And it's an organism. It's not a piece of rock or a metal. These are intelligent living beings. And I mean intelligent. That's an understatement. They're brilliant. They're really brilliant. Okay, as you can see, the UFO is moving up and down. As it gets smaller, it means it's going up, rising, and when it comes closer, that means it's kind of descending, coming down. That metallic look is just plasma. So it has different plasma states. On the outside, the plasma is bright, and on the inside, there's not as much plasma. So it's a semi-plasma state. When it grows white like that, red hot, then the whole thing is plasma. So they can control the different states of plasma to different parts of the complex organism and community of organisms, and it's a real just complex life form all around. It's like it can hear me, so it's doing a show for me, showing me all its stuff. This is going to be a good video, I can tell already. Okay, so it's gone up higher. I'm still at 80x. I haven't touched the zoom for a while. It's been rising in altitude ever so slowly. Sometimes it comes down a little bit, but then it goes up. Mostly it's been going up. There it goes farther up. It's getting smaller. It's not lunging at me anymore. I wonder what happened. Maybe we became friends, who knows. It hasn't done that lunge thing at all. Okay, so that's a new development. Normally it would have come at me already, and it hasn't done it. That's never happened before. This is the first time for that. I'm going to have to change my knee. I'm kneeling on one knee and that's frozen. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Where is it? I better back off. I gotta back off. Okay. Okay, so this is no zoom. This is how far it is. Both of my knees are hurting me from last night. I was kneeling down for an hour and it's really cold. So I don't know how much longer I can hack it. Just kneeling down like this. Okay, this should be the clearest video I've taken of these things so far. It's not blocking me. I'm not getting any EMP pulses thrown at me every 5 seconds or less. It's come out and it's showing itself. And clear as day. This should be an excellent video. I don't have to do anything to this. Not enlarge it or anything. It's going to be crystal clear. Okay, this is going to be the best example of a UFO out there. Because this one wants me to see it. It's not going to play any more games. I'm just going to keep quiet for a while and just concentrate on keeping the camera steady. I gotta move my foot. I hate when I have to do that. And my knees are killing me. Hold on. I gotta do it. Okay. Okay, he's going back into plasma. Okay, so the way it goes into plasma state, it increases the orbital frequency of the clusters around the nucleus, and the faster they orbit the nucleus, the hotter the entire mass gets. And they keep most of the heat on the outside and keeping themselves cool enough to, I guess, be able to operate. Most of the heat is on the outside of the hexahedron, and inside is cooler, which is unusual. Usually you would think that the nucleus would be the hottest spot, but that's what turns everything around. Everything goes around the nucleus. You can see how fast they're orbiting. Now those are big clusters. This is a big thing. This is huge. A couple of houses. Huge. Maybe bigger. It's not that close to me. This is at 80x, and I mean, it's probably about 10 kilometers away. The ones last night were about 30 or 40 kilometers. They look like little dots. They look like the size of this nucleus last night. I actually had to enlarge them to see what they were like. Amazing, amazing. show. And this is no hologram, no projection, no nothing. It's the real thing. And it's a hexahedron cluster, an intelligent organism, an entity, and a being. And it's from outer space, extraterrestrial, not of this planet. It's not from Earth. From inside the middle of the earth or anywhere like that. It's from outer space, and that's a community of entities working all together as one thing, one entity, one being. They can separate into little pieces smaller than you can see with a microscope, and still be one thing. And they can all the pieces can work individually on their own, but still remain part of the mass there, the entity and the cluster, the hexahedron cluster. Okay, it's gone back into a plasma state. Now it's gonna start coming, and I can't even hang out here anymore. My knees are frozen and my eyes are tearing. I can't even see anymore. It's really cold out. It's, I think, 20 below. It's actually letting me see inside. This is done on purpose. This is no coincidence. It wants me to see inside because I've been trying to see inside so bad. And now, when I can see inside, I'm so cold. My eyes are tearing and I can't see it really well. I hope the camera picks it all up so I can watch it inside. My eyes are tearing so bad I can't even see. I'm just holding it centered. Maybe I can see it later. Right now my eyes are just tearing so bad, it's so cold. And they really wanted me to see inside. I mean, so I was even going to buy a better camera, spend $1,000 or more, maybe $2. Just to get to see inside, and now it showed me, saved me a lot of money now that I know what's inside. I still maybe get the camera for other things. Now it's yellow, still in a plasma state. This is another state of plasma. When it glows white, that's a different state. In yellow, that's a different state. When it's blue, that's a different state. It can be many states. There are many states of plasma. And there's semi-plasma like that, where it can, you know, just turn into material particles whenever it wants to, at a moment's notice, and then collect them back. It turns down the energy by then, the juice. And this is all electromagnetic energy at work, and basically electricity, because it's creating very high voltage to be able to turn the air molecules around it into plasma. And I think I'm going to leave it at that point, because now I'm so frozen I can't handle it anymore. I'm starting to shake and everything. And what a too bad. I'm worn out from last night. Alright, I can't anymore. That's it.